Hit him with the broom. Hit him with the broom. Look, yeah, I know with live streams, Lixian can't insert himself, but maybe we'll figure out a way, right? Maybe we'll figure out a way for him to. A VTuber! We're gonna turn him into a VTuber! No, we're not gonna do that because he still couldn't edit the live stream.
Actually, you most certainly can. In fact, at the end of this video, I'll show you how. But first, I'm gonna design Mark a VTuber too. Howdy bitch, I'm Shade, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing to join the hunt. Alright, second to last is a VTuber design for Markiplier. Fun fact, I actually watched that video 2 days before I posted my previous VTuber design. And hearing Mark mention VTubers before I was just about to design him as one was a freaky coincidence. Brainstorming. With Mark, I had an idea for his VTuber design before I even sat down. Cows. The cow inspo would hearken to his past nickname, Markiplier, and this video. Mark has also made it extremely clear that he loves space. And cows have plenty of rumors of being abducted by aliens, which is a big part of space. Plus, aliens is a reference to Amy, who has an alien theme to her socials, and of course, this iconic look from In Space. Moving on to concepting, I started out with a little piebald cow mascot I just had to put pen to paper. I've been calling the little calf Emu, and it just stuck. I kind of want to explore this design a little more, and or turn him into a plushie, but that's a project for another month or platform. For the other sketches, I figured out how the clothes would look. Mark sometimes layers clothes during recording, either having a jacket or sweater, and he has a tendency to roll his long sleeves to his elbows, which is referenced in the first 2 sketches. Mark was also a band kid, and one of his previous logos was the M with the pink mustache, so I had an idea for a Letterman jacket, which you can see in the first concept. However, I tried a couple more designs, one with a more open jacket, then a full zip closed jacket, all inspired by some outfits that Mark has worn. I ended up going for the first design and expanded upon it in the second pass. I knew I wanted to bring in a flannel pattern in reference to
Lucky flannel, baby!
But I had a hard time placing the pattern. I ended up concepting 3 different placements and ended up with the idea of placing the flannel in the spots of the cow print. Then it was on to designing patches for the jacket, most of which you see here. I wanted to have a variety of patches of the various projects he's done or been a part of, and yes, there is one for Iron Lung. Line art. Shady. He's done. But before you see the final product, I believe I promised y'all a tutorial on how to do special effects while live streaming. Alrighty, for this tutorial I'm going to assume you already have some experience in OBS or are using a streaming app like OBS. So before you even get started with your settings, you want to set up the GIF or video you want to play whenever you press in the hotkey in a scene. I have it right here, and then I have the GIF as a source, and then I've nested it in another scene, so it'll play. I'll play it for you in a second. And that's the GIF that I want to play. So now that you have all that done, make sure your OBS is connected, and if you are a new streamer, make sure that YouTube has actually given you the opportunity to stream. I've seen a lot of people have that difficulty before. Alright, now that your OBS is set up with what you want to play, you're going to get a little thing called StreamerBot. This is one of two methods I've seen of playing GIFs for YouTube. Another method is called Touch Portal. I'll have a tutorial link for that in the description, as well as a tutorial for downloading StreamerBot. This will just be a little bit more a niche of a tutorial. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is go into your platforms, and since you're going to be streaming on YouTube, you're going to go and connect your stream account. As you can see, mine is connected. You can ignore this if you're not using a bot account. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into your stream apps and go connect OBS Studio. As you can see, I am currently recording. Alright, and then here comes the fun part. You're gonna want to go into actions and cues, actions. So this is where you do all your toggles and such. So as you can see right here, I have in action for blow it up, and you can see my layout right here. First thing you're going to want to do is you are going to right click, add OBS Studio, and then you're going to do sources and set source visible, and that'll be this first one, as you can see right here. And so you're going to go to your scene that you have, and then the source that you want to activate, and you set it as visible. And then you're going to want to let it run. So this is where you would want to write down how long your video is. For example, my video is 2 seconds and 42 frames after 60 seconds. You would want to go make sure how many frames it is in milliseconds, because even though it's 42 frames, it does not equal 42 milliseconds. So you may need to do a little bit of math there. And then you want it to turn off. All right, now that you have that settled, you're going to want to go into your triggers, and then you're going to set up how it how it gets triggered in your settings. So you're going to go right click, add, core add commands, command triggered, as you can see here. And then you're going to go into here. I'm going to add a new one just for fun. And then I'm going to do exclamation point, Lixian, blow it, blow it up. I believe I'm spelling that correctly. Hold on, let me check. Right now I'm spelling it correctly. Okay. And then this is when you can do it to only put your moderator in. So if when I start streaming, when I'm in a little more of a triple digit subscribers, I'm going to be able to allow my moderators to put in chats to start these gives. If I want it to be case sensitive, you can do it here. Mark mentioned using a broom in the intro, but you can really just do anything that you want. Now click OK. And then you have the command and you go OK. And then so now you have two. This is the first one where my moderators would just have to put exclamation point boom in the comments and it would blow it up my screen. And you're going to go quickly and save that just to make sure your settings keep it. And then now we're going to go test it. Alrighty, for testing, we're going to do the easy way of making sure it's properly connected in StreamerBot. So you're going to go into your actions, and you're going to go into your sub actions, double click, and you're going to click this little button right here to make sure it's tested. I've muted the source so it won't blow up your eardrums, but make sure that your source is not muted. So I'm going to click test. And as you can see, it's working. So you're going to exit that out. You are going to go into your sub actions for when it turns it off and open it up. And then you're going to hit test again and it'll turn off. And you've set it up properly. Something that of note you want to go make sure is working properly, you're going to go into your commands folder and make sure your settings are properly fixed to YouTube. So for example, you're going to go down in here, check sources to make sure it's set to YouTube message. By default, it's going to be Twitch message, but you're not going to be streaming on Twitch if you're using this tutorial for YouTube. So make sure under options, sources, it's set to YouTube. As you can see, I have it for both settings. So not Twitch message, YouTube message. Click OK. And you're done. Enjoy your toggle. Anyways, y'all waited long enough. Here's the finished design with and without the patches. The art will soon be up on my Tumblr, but do let me know here in the comments what you think of him. That's 4 out of 5 done. There's only one more left. Any idea whom? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's all from me for now. Leave a like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you loved it to join the haunt. I'll see y'all in the next video. Stay spooky. Bye bye.